Very nice little problem. Okay. It's going to take a little, maybe creativity, but you can do it. Just don't give up too easily. So let's start. Let me first put a rectangle around this guy. Let me fill in the spots. This is nothing, right? Where no rivers are polluted. This river is polluted with only phosphate. This river is polluted with only sulfur. These rivers are polluted with crude oil. This one has sulfur and crude oil. This one has sulfur and phosphate. And this one has crude oil and phosphate. And these rivers in the middle have all three chemicals inside. That's what they need. So let's start with the easy one. 177 rivers are clean. That's the easy one. 101 rivers were polluted only with crude oil. You know what? I'm going to need this. I'm just going to click and take that out. Rivers with only crude oil. Only crude oil would be this guy right here. Right? So far, so good. 439 rivers were polluted with phosphates. The phosphates has 4 sections. I can't. There's just too many unknowns. So I'm going to skip that. 72 rivers were polluted with sulfur, compound, and crude oil. Sulfur, compound, crude oil. So this guy, but not phosphate. So it's exactly this guy. I don't have the number in the middle yet, so that's okay. But this is gone. Right? So far the obvious ones. 289 rivers were polluted with phosphates, but no crude oil. Well, phosphates and no crude oil would be these guys here. This has phosphate, doesn't have crude oil. This has phosphate and no crude oil. So it would be the sum of these two. Again, I'm missing information, so I can't do that yet. 463 were polluted with sulfur compounds. Well, it'd be 1, 2, these 4 parts. Again, way too many unknowns. 137 rivers were polluted with only phosphates. That I can do. I'm going to put 137 over here. And this information is going to tell me, it's going to help me with this one that we skipped before, the 289. 289 rivers were polluted with phosphates. So let me change colors. But no crude oil. This guy has phosphates and no crude oil, and these guy has phosphates and no crude oil, right? These other two, unfortunately, have crude oil. So I know now that the sum of these two, and let's call that unknown, so I'll just leave it, the unknown plus 137 equals 289. Subtract 137 from each side, and the unknown is 2, 5, 152. So 152. All right, so these, I think, were okay to find. Now comes the tricky part, I guess. If you look at the top one, 439 rivers polluted with phosphates, it's this circle right here. Let me circle that with yellow. Right, so all that should add up to 439, but I have 2 variables. I can't really do anything with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these variables, assign a variable to each of these. I can't do anything. There's no other information besides these 2. And then 463 rivers were polluted with sulfur compounds, which is this circle right here. And again, if you'll notice, I'll have 2 unknowns as well. So why don't we do this? Why don't we, for now, because there's nothing else I can do, call that A, call that B, and call that C. And I'm going to encircle this one with green. Hopefully it comes out green, yeah. All right, so there are 2. Let's take this information and create an equation out of that. So we can write that B plus C plus 152 plus 137 equals 439, right? I combine these two, 152 and 137, right? I can shorten that, 152 plus 137, and simply say 289. So I can say B plus C, and I combine these 2 like terms, and I write 289 equals 139. Better yet, I can subtract 289 from each side. Sorry, this should be 439. Right, just like we're solving an equation, we're subtracting 289 from each side. This goes away, and we're left with B plus C. So B plus C is 150. Hang on. I know we still have two variables. I don't know what b is. I know that the sum of those two areas, b and c, equals 150. That's going to help me. Okay. Let's see if I can do the same thing with the green one. And I'm going to use this color. So in the green circle, it says that's a sulfur compounds, right? Everything, so all the rivers that have sulfur added together is 463. So let's do that. So we have A plus B plus 152 plus 72, right? And all that has to equal 463. So let's do the same thing we did prior, right, with the other example. So we're going to get 224. So A plus B plus 224 equals 463. Let's subtract 224 from each side, right? We get 239. So A plus B equals 239. We're still not there. So, right, we're getting there. Let me just close this out. How is that going to help us? Trying to think. Well, now I can't use this equation, a plus b equals 239 with b plus c equals 150, because we have three different variables, right? If it was a and b and this was a and b, or this is b and c and this was b and c, we could have worked something out, but they're not. Is there another equation we can create right now? And that's where the tricky part of this solution comes in. So I think these two, you're okay. Now there's one more equation I can create. Apparently there's 1,000 rivers, and 1,000 is the sum of all these parts over here, right? So let's write it all out. A plus B plus C, and then I'm going to write plus 72 plus 101 plus 152 plus 137 plus 177. And that all is supposed to equal 1,000. Okay, hopefully you're okay with that, right? I can combine like terms, so we can simplify this equation a little bit. So we can a plus b plus c plus a plus b plus c, there's nothing I can do. But 72 plus 101 plus 152 plus 137, 177, I can combine those. There's no need for me to write all that. 72 plus 101 plus 152 plus 137 plus 177 equals 639. So plus 639. So all these add up to 639 equals 1,000. Now, wait for it. We're going to subtract 639 and 639 here. Okay. And a plus, so this goes away, and I'm left with a plus b plus c. And on this side, I get 361. Hopefully you see what I see. I have three equations. This one has two variables, this one has two variables, and this has three variables, which equals 361. Hopefully you can see that, hey, look, this is a plus b. This is b plus c. I can take a plus b, right here and replace it with 239. Or if you want to, you can replace b plus c. So you can go to this last equation, replace b plus c with 150, and you can get a. If you replace a plus b with 239, you can find c. It doesn't really matter which one. So if you don't have a preference, I'm going to take this guy. I know b plus c is 150, so instead of b plus c here, I'm going to replace it with 150. So I'm going to write a plus 150 equals 361. I subtract 150 from this side, and I subtract 150 from this side. That goes away. A is left all by itself, right? And then 361 minus 150 is 211. Ooh. Now that I can come back here, make that a little small, I can come back here and write that A is 211. Okay? Now, if I know that, what do I know about the sulfur compounds? Everything adds up to what do you call 463. You can take 211 and put it over here, replace it over here. So we have A plus B is 239. Well, you know what A is, so you can replace A. So let's take this to the side. So A plus B equals 239. A, we just found out, is 211. So we get 211 plus B equals 239. So what number added to 211 equals 239? All you have to do is subtract. And we get the 239 minus 211 equals 28. So now I know that B is 28. So I can, okay, where's B? Right here. I can take that and write 28. Now, we need to find C. Well, look, you know what B is. You can come to this equation now. And you know what B is. So let me take B and I write 28. 28 plus C equals 150. I'll subtract 28 from each side. And we get that this goes away. C equals 122. Let me erase that. And then write C equals 122. We're going to double check our work here. Just make sure we have everything correctly. So let's check. And I'm going to erase these. Right. Let's check our answers. Right. Make sure it matches information. So let's start with this right here. 463 were polluted with sulfur compounds. So sulfur is everybody in the green circle, which is 211, 72, 28, and 152. 10, 13, carry 1, 7, 8, 10, 11, 16, carry 1. Look at that, 463. So that matches that information right here. In the sulfur, we have 463 rivers. 439 were polluted with phosphates. So in the yellow circle, we have 152, 28, 122, and 137. Okay, so what do we have? 8 and 2 is 10, plus 9 is 19, carry 1, 5, 10, 13, carry 1. Sorry. Carry 1, 5, 10, 13, carry 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 439. Is that it? Yeah, look, 439. If you want to take your time and add all the numbers up, make sure you have 1,000. You can, let's see, 211, I'm doing a calculator, plus 72, plus 152, plus 28, plus 101, plus 122, plus 137, plus 177. Ta-da! If you add all these numbers, it equals to 1,000, right? And we had from the beginning that 1,000 rivers was a total, and that also check. Nice little problem, right? So hopefully hopefully before you even got to the video, you gave it a shot. And it's okay if you didn't get it. Now you familiar with this particular way. All right?